While it is true that on this channel I am more of a storyteller of historical events and topics within the world of college football, my tagline does read college football stories, lists, and content from the past, present, and future. So let's throw out a little love to the present and future with this one. As of now, the Group of 5 conferences have only been represented in the college football playoffs twice, with Cincinnati in 2021 and Boise State in 2024. But since I just made a video on my dark horse picks for the power conferences, I thought it would be fun to make one for each Group of 5 conference's best chance to make the 2025 playoffs. So here we go. Let's start by not forgetting that mess that is the Pac-2 and the nonsense that is independent, because we want to be all-inclusive. So Notre Dame obviously has a better chance than UConn, so there's that. As for the Pac, give me Washington State. I won't go into those because the Pac was kind of a joke and Notre Dame is just realistic. Before we really get going here, it should be noted that since moving to 12 teams, we are almost guaranteed to see a G5 team in the playoffs each year, and maybe someday we will get that basketball-type Cinderella story. The American Athletic Conference. Army had their chance in 2024 with a 9-0 record and a number 19 ranking, facing number 6 Notre Dame at home, but they got blown out and otherwise had a very weak schedule. While Army and Navy were both surprises within the AAC, don't expect the same. Both teams lost a ton, and neither did much to reload, as they aren't the kind of programs who prioritize big offseason moves. My best prediction for a team coming out of here and making the playoffs is going to be Tulane. While the Green Wave lost a bit to the NFL and transfer portal, they also added 26 transfers themselves. The schedule seems very manageable too, with a possible one-loss season being realistic. If they drop one game at Ole Miss and win the rest of the schedule, they could be sitting right on the edge, depending on how high rankings play out. Or what if they found a way to beat Ole Miss and drop a random conference game, but recover and win the AAC title game? That, in my opinion, puts them in an even better spot because that one huge upset would likely be viewed as a bigger deciding factor than a single conference stumble. Conference USA. Very patriotic, these G5 names. I'm not even going to dance around this one much. While they dropped off a little from previous years in 2024, I expect Liberty to be back in 2025 and should be the conference's best chance at the playoffs. The Flames, like almost every team in these videos, lost some key guys in the portal, but gained some too. They'll have some uncertainty at quarterback, but a pretty good offensive line and the CUSA's best receiver room. And maybe the passing game isn't even going to be that important for a team that was 4th in the nation in rushing last season. Despite losing their top rushers, they still have the personnel to produce again in 2025. Defense has room for improvement, but should be better than the rest of the conference, especially in the defensive back category. Liberty has the best odds to win the conference, and the non-conference schedule is winnable too, with Maine, Bowling Green, James Madison, and Old Dominion. While those last two are more challenging, the Flames can get it done any given Saturday. With no currently ranked opponents and no Power 5 games, their best bet will be to go 13-0 with a conference title and let nobody deny you. The Mid-Atlantic Conference. Let me just start by saying a MAC team is just not going to make the playoffs. I don't even see a chance. But I committed to doing this, so let's put them in here. Last season, Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame, so I guess nothing is impossible in the grand scheme of things. Let's just make this easy and go with the projected MAC winner in Toledo. The Rockets will have quarterback Tucker Gleason leading the way after throwing for over 4,000 yards and 36 touchdowns in his career entering year 5. The team added some solid pass catchers from the portal, and the offensive line is set to be the best in the conference. The defense is projected to be pretty good, with the secondary being a key focus and a lot of potential at linebacker. After an up-and-down 2024 season, there's no reason to believe that Toledo will do anything better than win the conference with maybe a 9-4 record. Outside of the conference, I have them losing to Kentucky and maybe Washington State as well. In conference, I suspect they'll lose a few too. There's not a lot of hype here other than a shot at winning the conference. The only playoff hope is to somehow go undefeated and just hope another G5 team didn't do the same. The Mountain West. I'm not going to shock anyone with my pick here. Boise State is easily the team in the Group of 5 with the best chance to make the playoffs. It literally happened last season. They entered the season ranked 25th as the only G5 team in the rankings. Now yes, I know the Broncos have to replace superstar Ashton Genty, but they returned their quarterback and key players at tight end, edge, and corners, while also returning nearly the entire 2 deep on the offensive line. They also have a lot of promising replacements at running back to thrive with that O-line. The Broncos, in my opinion, should beat every single opponent in conference and should beat South Florida, Eastern Washington, and App State outside the conference. Now, as for the other non-conference game I didn't mention, Notre Dame. I'm not saying Boise beats the Irish, but I wouldn't count them out either. It will really just come down to how the two teams look by early October. And suppose they do lose to Notre Dame, and that's it. They could realistically be sitting at 12-1, waiting to punch their second straight ticket to the playoffs. The Sun Belt. While I'd love to be a super optimistic homer and pick my alma mater, Georgia Southern, who actually currently has the second best odds to win the conference, I need to be logical and go with James Madison. The Dukes won't back down from big-time opponents and have done great since moving up to the FBS in 2022. Last year was a wild one for the Sun Belt, and while JMU dropped a few, it was seen as a rebuilding team that was still solid. After grabbing some solid transfers, the team should be even better. The Sun Belt does offer a lot of upsets, so I don't think they get through unscathed. But if they can keep those occasions to a minimum and run the table, they could have a shot. Outside the conference, they'll have tough games at Liberty and Louisville, and I honestly think they'll split those and end the year around 9-3, which will leave them short of playoff contentions. Of course, if they can prove me wrong and get to 12-1 with a Sun Belt title win, they have as good a shot as any G5 team. Now let me know in the comments if I missed something or should have added more info to some of the teams you agree with, or if you would have gone a different direction on any of these conferences. Thanks for watching College Football Chronicles, and I will see you next time.